I've just
potato
pressed the
Tam,
big
son.
button, so we got to be careful what
I
we
mean,
say now. Okay.
Jim could have pressed the button too,
We're
slacker.
waiting on you.
Yeah. Yep. So we're already 10 seconds in and already ranting that T.O. was late.
Well, it's three old men. Well, one old man
Why
and
is three old?
one old man and two wannabe old men. So
I thought you said three wise old men.
I'm
no,
I'm
said
not
old
the
men.
I'm not the oldest man in the room, Jim.
Oh, I know that. I got that.
See,
on.
this is the problem when you give people power. Right here, this is the problem.
I don't know who
When
typed
people
that.
get power on your channel, this is what happens.
Oh my God.
Oh, I didn't who typed that.
Use your power responsibly, okay?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh goodness, this is going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. We're going to be
Aben,
ranting.
I see you.
We're going to be ranting today.
And all of you at home, please join in and rant too.
Yeah. So it's all about you guys. You guys need to start ranting in the comments about anything to do with ham radio. Keep it clean, okay? Let's just.
David's
keep it
got a
civil,
good one to
keep
start
it
us
clean.
off with.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
What drives me crazy about hams are the ones that think CW somehow equates to technical knowledge. I only use a manual tuner, therefore I'm better than everybody else. I use one too, but I rub nobody's nose in it.
Well, so we spoke about this, didn't we, last week, saying that now CW is like the cool thing because you don't actually have to have any technical knowledge about it or do it as part of the test.
Right. I think 5 words per minute killed a lot of people's CW desires.
I mean, that's the reason I got a ham license 40 years ago. I wanted to get one back in the 80s, but I was like,
oh, no.
Evan, your face looks like crap.
I'm sorry, T.O.
It is.
Saying it with love. You're hot as fire.
Well, I mean, yeah. If only there was
maybe go back to your keyboard, Mike, and see how it goes. And then they'll rant and complain about your keyboard
I had to turn
tapping.
things down here because
I've had a day, okay? And you guys don't need to make it any worse.
Show us on the wheel of feelings where the bad trailer touched you.
Okay, I will point to it with my one finger. Oh, man.
Actually, that's a good point. You're not in your trailer at the moment. You're on a couch.
I'm on a couch. I'm in my living room, in my RV, yes.
Oh, okay. Right. You're in a different setting. You're not in your regular setting.
It threw me off, too, yeah.
I am. So I told Jim yesterday, we're supposed to have really bad weather. First off, weather alerts are killing the world. Like, the language is interesting. The language said severe thunderstorms can bring, and I read severe thunderstorms will bring. So I panicked. That's on me. I totally admit. I butchered the English language. Severe winds and damaging hail and even a tornado. And I'm like, crap, I really don't want to be driving with an RV attached to, in the middle of a tornado.
In a tornado.
Let's make this as worse as humanly possible, And
yeah.
Then on top of that, I didn't know this at all, but there was a time zone change today. So we left early this morning and we got here an hour earlier than when we left. So when we got here, there was somebody that was in our campsite that we had reserved, but they had full rights to it in theory because they weren't supposed to leave for another 2 hours. Like, what am I going to do with 2 hours? So we left and we went to a truck stop, and I have got all kinds of mad prepper skills. I plugged in my massive battery, I lit up my RV, and hit the microwave and started making my lunch, and we had a nice warm roadside meal. It was awesome. We get back to the campsite, and they're still here, and they haven't checked out. Well, they didn't check out because they had truck problems, and I know what it's like to have truck problems. I'm so friendly. I'm so gracious and caring, and I love everybody. And y'all can tell I'm laying it on thick. But so we kind of like just sat in the truck for a while, and then we borrowed some kayaks from the campground, but I can't tell you which campground we're in because they're not lending out kayaks, so that didn't actually happen. We sat on the lake for like a half an hour, just hour and a half, just paddling around. We get back, and so you can stay in the site where you parked out of the way, but somebody's got that reserved. They're going to hopefully leave tomorrow morning. So I'm actually still attached to the truck, and I have all the landing gear down. I've got the slides out. I'm plugged in. I've got the air conditioning running. We dropped it from 90 degrees down to 70 degrees in an hour. I just installed a new air conditioner. There's a video coming out on the RV channel about that this week. It's fantastic. I got some help from Hank. I saw Hank in the chat. Got some help from my buddy Andy, and it's been working amazing. A 20-degree swing in an RV is like fantastic, and
The Iowa
scheduled.
Mafia.
Yeah, we're scheduled for 104 degrees over the weekend here in Nebraska. So I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I can't set my shack up because tomorrow morning I got to tear everything down and move 3 feet to the left.
That felt like an over listening to that story on 80 meters. I was waiting for you to time out on the repeater.
You said it was a rant show.
I was trying to avoid giving my own 80 meter story.
Break. WT1W break.
Break.
No break.
Between syllables while you've still got the mic keyed down.
I thought he was that one old guy that's on America Link 27.4. I mean 24/7. No, I mean 27.4.
Frank, I'll be back in the South. You got to come by Arizona on one of those train trips.
Hey, so
awesome. Thank you, Donald.
Frank's got a rant. Why do we have so much drama in this hobby? Sometimes it is unbelievable how much there is.
Oh, I can blame it on one person. Just kidding.
Oh, can you?
Just kidding.
You sure? I'm sure there's just one person.
Just kidding.
There is a lot of drama, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because
it's
we're
funny.
all opinionated men, mostly.
Well, it's funny how one of the rules of ham radio is, well, one of the don't talk about politics, basically, and it's like the most political thing going around to talk about politics on ham radio.
I avoid talking about politics and religion because I'll piss people off.
But you're a pastor.
Yeah, right. Boy, my
actually, show us your shirt.
Dodgy. Oh,
show us your shirt. This will trigger some people.
This will trigger a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh, and about 50 people just left the chat.
Probably.
Yeah, but it's okay. 50 fresh young hams that don't have those problems just joined in.
Right.
Welcome, everybody. Glad to have
true.
you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
I started to say something. I forgot totally what I was going to say now. But
you're talking about the drama, the politics, not talking about politics.
Oh, yeah. I try to avoid talking about politics and religions because on you're not going to change anyone's mind 99% of the time. You're not going to change mine. That ship has sailed a long time ago.
Jim is very stubborn. Jim liked Windows 11 for like 2 years after I told him to get off, and finally he converted.
Welcome, I have Jim. Not converted. I'm the Chipper Jones of operating systems here, son. We got Linux running on the
Windows 98 over there.
I got Mac OS on the M2 Pro, and I've got Windows on another computer together.
The video coming out this week of switching a Windows machine to 73 Linux. Thank you, Jason.
No, I just, it's like those are two things to avoid because it's going to trigger somebody or you'll get somebody. And even people who are on my side of the aisle with politics, I just don't like talking about politics because it is what it is. It's not anything I'm going to change. And until I need to, get medieval on somebody, I don't really care about it. So leave me alone. Can I say the B word? What you people say?
I don't know what the B word is. Sure.
Bugger off.
You mean the C word?
Is that the B word?
What did you think I was going to say? The B word
I thought you were
is equivalent to the F word. Bitch off. Doesn't really work.
You're American. I don't know what you're going to say.
We didn't offend any Americans. Now, we might have pissed off a few Australians and any Brits, but...
Yeah, John's got it right. The B word. B-U-N-T.
I don't know what this is in reference to. I'm assuming someone else was ranting.
4 hours. That's got to be ham radio crash course.
It probably is. Okay, more rants. One thing that I quickly will rant about. This is gonna be real cheesy. I'm trying to figure out ways of not doing this in a cheesy way. I hate it when I run out of power while out in the field. So then I used my lead time battery.
That was smooth.
No, we want to. I know it was smooth as shit. We want to say thank you to Lead Time. Lead Time for sponsoring the show. Lead Time are good. I've got my little 50 amp hour battery here. T.O. though was ranting to me though the other day saying that he feels like 50 amps is too much. It's too big a battery for ham radio.
I don't know. I mean, how much? I put a community post on my YouTube channel last week. How long are you going to stay in the park? I mean, if you don't want to recharge
For
for
10
months on
contacts.
end,
For 10
yeah,
contacts.
yeah, for POTA, how long are you? How many contacts are you making? You know, I can do 60 contacts on a 5 amp hour battery with a 100 watt power hungry FT891 in about an hour and a half. Plenty. Ken, I got my whoopee too.
But it means that you don't have to charge it for a few days, though. So
Yeah,
you could do continuous POTAs.
Yes.
Anyway, they're good. They're good Leytime batteries. Thank you for sponsoring the show. That was very smooth, and I don't think anyone noticed it whatsoever.
Totally
We won't
seamless.
talk about it anymore. We won't talk about it anymore. Liberty says, complaining about ham radio is leading to perception that something is killing ham radio. We should all just whistle past the grave.
I've never heard that expression, but
Is there anything that isn't killing ham radio?
it depends on who you're talking to. I mean, FT8 is the end of all life as we know it, according to a whole lot of people on 80 meters and contesters. See,
No, but then contests are the
ham
end
is
of ham
already
radio.
there. Let's rant about FT8.
Well, Ron was also saying, defending FT8 though, he's saying that CW is worse because the FT8 gives a truer RST, but then CW is just 599, 599, 599.
Well, I have this from someone who knows way more CW than me or TO, who is a prolific CW guy. And he said when he got started, he didn't even learn anything except saying 599. He learned his call sign, basic letters, and then just 599 to everybody. He said if I could barely hear him, it was 599.
I started at the bottom of the solar cycle. Everybody was a 5.9. How are you gonna get better than that?
Right.
Plus all the noise reduction,
5,
and
10,
filtering, and notching, and
51, 51, 51.
Someone's just got to send what's the highest signal on a signal meter? 60? 560, 60.
560.
You're a 5 by 60. Yep. SSB, FTA, DMR, everything's killing. Ham radio is just
M17 is killing ham radio.
everything. Ham radio is just dead. It's just done. It's completely
people who
done.
think that digital voice modes like DMR and D-Star and so forth don't require RF at all are killing ham radio.
POC radios, POC radios.
I like this.
Yeah,
Jim.
Not
I
sponsored.
got 2 of those waiting for me.
Damn, that means I need to get off my ass and get the video done.
Yeah, you do now.
Or wait for yours and then take some cues.
Oh no,
I
got stuck. There's a problem.
I think these things are cool, actually. And
So
cheap.
Yeah, I will let the cat out of the bag, and this is going to be another one of those rants since it's a ranting video. I think the reason why the POC radios and even like TalkPods got this new thing, and I hate the name that they gave it. It's lost in translation. It's called Link Poon. Sorry, but it is
I don't think that
completely.
should be-
TL, can I borrow your poon?
Yeah, completely internet-based radio. Like
It's
literally,
linked
I
up
don't.
at the moment.
It's only Wi-Fi. Like it's a handheld HT-shaped radio, but it's only Wi-Fi, and you tune into 146.5.2 over Wi-Fi, and you can start chatting back and forth. And it sounds really bad, but between that and the POC radios, this is a better way to get your elderly nursing home family member, and I'm much respect, full love, all grace included, to get that person playing with ham radio and keep the hobby alive for them while they're in the nursing home, much better than DMR. DMR is going to be frustrating for you trying to help them. It's going to be frustrating for them trying to use it. It's going to be a nightmare. This, you just spin the knob and key up on the frequency and magic happens, and they just feel like it's the old days. And I'm, again, saying that with as much love as possible. Like totally in,
right.
in on it.
I know who that is. Really, whatever you do not go typing this into the chat. You might get banned.
I told them when they asked me to review the radios, I'm like, dude, I know you're not from America. Could you please change the name?
It would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Would be a very good idea.
Like the POC link radios, not just what TO was talking about with getting somebody in. That's called the
The
poop.
chat. The chat's gone. The chat's gone rogue.
Oh,
Keep
my
going.
God.
That's Cockpod that does link poon, by the way. So if you want it, go get one.
Thank God they didn't
Go
call
talk
it a
to
poon
the pod
tool or
about the poo.
something.
Yeah.
Poon link.
I wonder what poon. Now I got to translate that. What does poon
No.
mean? In
Whatever
friggin'
you do,
Chinese?
don't Google
Chinese.
it. Don't Google it.
Well, I mean, like the POC link radios, they do, and somebody just said it. It just scrolled past. It's still RF. It's
Sorry,
still
beef
RF.
carver's being.
No, it doesn't.
It is still
doesn't
RF.
translate.
Yes.
Poon on command. That's right, beef carver.
There's the wind.
But it's still not. It's not anything new though. Like it's still RF, but
My cell
It
phone
takes
is
the-
RF.
it does take the fun. It does take the fun out of things.
Mm-hmm.
Be great in
Also,
be great in the bottom of the solar cycle when you can't talk to anyone.
Some people really do like to actually talk on the radio. I mean, Jim and I are not those people. I don't know about you, Hayden, but
We are not.
Occasionally.
I mean, I will do POTA hunting because you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter, that kind of thing. And I'll answer on contest day. When I first got started, I would answer all the contesters. I'd just jump around and KN4YCD, whatever the hell it is. Number, they wanted some serial number or something. I just made up a number and gave it to them.
Then the poor
5'9".
bloke's like lost some contest because you've given him a bogus serial number.
But I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into a yak fest on.
Oi, use your own account.
I was supposed to say whinged, by the way. I was replying to another guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just admitted it was me, David.
Any comments may or may not be coming from me.
I'm
These
just
two
abusing my
jokers
powers
now.
heartily.
Yeah,
I'm
these
innocent.
two jokers are skirting the line here at the moment.
Who starts?
What do some? What? Oh, here we go. This will kick things off. Why do some amateur radio clubs feel more like social hangouts than actual ham radio groups? I did a little video a couple of months ago on this, saying about how stop wasting time in ham radio clubs doing all business in the club, and then maybe a little bit of fun stuff. Let's do all fun
Have a business
stuff.
meeting and then have a club
Business meeting. Yes.
2 different days.
Yes. You can attend both if you really want to.
You sure can, but please don't attend the business meeting. Please don't.
No.
Well, I think what may put people off, and full disclosure, I have not joined the Montgomery Ham Club. I have not ever been to a meeting. I think I know people who are in it vaguely. I could care less about joining a club because honestly, and T.O. has
should join
said
my
this
club.
exact thing before.
Hang on,
This
you're
is-
already in a club.
this
You're in
is-
Toads.
I'm in Toads. I'm in the West. What's the one that Jocelyn is in charge of?
Westchester Amateur
Yeah,
WV8COA.
Yeah,
WC8BOA. Jeez.
I think I'm still paying for that. I'm not
What a
sure.
dyslexic.
I have.
Voice of America.
And
Oh, I'm having a
Hey,
sneeze attack.
it's
Thank you
like,
for muting.
and honestly,
Okay, die quietly.
I don't want to hang out and do ham stuff yet another night of the week. You know, between my show, T.O.'s
Jimmy's
show, that other Coffee and Ham radio show, that's
We
3.
can still mention it. It's okay.
Okay, I'm trying to be sensitive to Hayden here. It's his
Yeah.
channel. But it's like I don't want to go sit at a ham club meeting and potentially listen to business. Ooh, look, I even pointed the right way. I don't want to listen to a
Don't tell him,
business
Hayden.
meeting.
Don't tell him.
And I don't want to listen to a bunch of geezers talk about, you know, how they hate Baofangs or something else. And I'm probably being unfair. I've never been, but I just don't want to spend any more
John,
time
don't
in a
tell him.
club. So that's me.
Yes.
And then to that club T.O. was in Wisconsin.
Yes.
You said field day was like a hangout. Y'all had made one contact or something, and
I love them all. They're great, but we spend like 2.5 hours setting up antennas, and then we make one contact, we have lunch, and we talk about politics for another 3-4 hours.
reason number 652.
I sat on the couch and did remote control of my station back home and did FT8 for field.
There you go.
Laziness is killing ham radio.
Well, I had
No,
a
well,
couch
still,
in
yeah.
the clubhouse.
Oh, okay. So, We do a short business meeting, less than 30 minutes at our meeting, and then we have a presentation. That's okay, except the problem that I have is that if you have new people coming in, they still don't want to listen to 30 minutes of business.
Yep.
I mean, that's good that you only do 30 minutes because, like, some go for like an hour and just drone on, and then it's like, oh, we'll have a little bit of coffee and tea. What's the point? What is the point of a club?
That's a
To
good
share
question.
common interests.
Share a common
Y'all
interest.
can see the wind behind me.
Ooh.
And I don't know whether the common interest is learning that the transactions and what we spent money on last month and who's approved to go and tweak the repeater this week or something. I don't know.
Well, I think probably one of the root causes of disconnect in clubs, and it is with all ham radio. Now, I'm in technology, T.O.'s in technology, Hayden's in technology. This is all I've done my entire life. But you get ham clubs with guys that grew up hamming from 12 years old or
I
something.
don't know what
and
that means. I don't know
they
what a
can-
501 means or 503. It doesn't mean
A
anything to me.
non-profit corporation.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got
Doesn't mean anything to me.
But I
he's
mean,
got
it's
filing
like
requirements, but do it on a different day.
they can build radios from, oh, look, here's a box of transistors. I can whip together a 13-watt transmitter.
I
if
want to
you
know
give
how
me
to do
some
that so
gum.
bad.
I can't do that. I mean, I'm in technology. I'm not afraid of technology, but I'm not an electronics engineer. I can't build radios, nor do I really want to learn how. And I think that's kind of a divide right there. And that's kind of a demark, I think.
I don't. I'll reiterate what I said in my video, but I don't want to sort of say to people that they need to do it this way. This is just what we do.
It's opinions. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we do. Every Wednesday afternoon, we have a social group. So anyone can just go up and chat about anything. Still no business. Wednesday night, we do an experimenters night or experimenters group where we pick a topic. We'll either pick a topic which we'll all discuss in the room together, like an open forum, so everyone can have a chance to ask questions, learn more about it. Or we'll do a proper presentation where we'll invite a speaker in to do a presentation on something. Usually we do 2 of those a month. And then in the fill-in weeks, look, I think we've passed that joke now.
No,
And
Not with John.
we're not even close to past
I
that.
got
And the
3 more
other-
days of that with John. Come on, man.
And the other week, the other days of the week, of the month where we don't have a presentation or a forum night, we end up doing a stream from our TV studio. And we go out on RF and we talk about something cool. We talk about the news that's happening. We talk about something cool that we've gotten, show and tell, all sorts of things like that. The business stuff, this is the rules here. We can do this. The business meetings we do once a month separately, which anyone's in the club's available to attend if they need with if they let us know. But we found that works for us at least, and people walk in and can find people that they're interested in. And I'll tell you a story quickly about what happened the other day.
Right.
I was in the most random spot. No, I was in the most random spot. I was in a hot. People, I'm trying to tell the serious story here. We need to drop the poon jokes at the moment. All right.
Awkward.
I was in the hospital. The other day, walking down the corridor, and this random guy just come up to me and he says, "Hey, I watch your videos." And I said, "Oh, cool. Never met him before." He'd been to our club, and he'd come into our club and learnt everything he wanted to know, and he decides that he wants to get his license, which is good. So, that's what we do anyway. Okay, you can go back to the POON jokes now.
Nice. So, Hayden, also, one of the things we need to talk about for context is how many members are in your club versus the population of the island that you live on.
Well, actually, so we need to talk about 3 things here. The first one is about 6 years ago, and this is not tooting my own horn because this is only since I became super involved in the club. In 2019, we had about 80 members, I think. We had a whole bunch of members that had left. We'd never know why. some of them had forgotten. We now got 150, 154, I think. 158, maybe more than that. 154, I think it is, the last one. Population of the island is about 500,000. But ham population is about 680.
So you have 1/6 of the population.
1/3, it sounds like.
But we also didn't just extend it out to our.
Not arguing.
We didn't just extend it out to local hams in our city. We extended it out to interstate. Andy in the chat. He's a member of our club.
Both Andys?
No, Andy Cowley.
Andy Cowley,
of course.
I mean, your club
Andy
sounds
Cowley
cool.
has, and I posted to him. Andy Cowley's got a name badge from our club.
Nice.
That's how
Hayden shared with me a quick video, like, hey, look at everybody in my ham club, and and I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of people there. I mean, I have never been to a ham club meeting that had more than like a couple of restaurant tables full of people at it. 16, 12 people.
I think LC's nailed it there. Cookies.
Yeah. Watch that clock.
Cookie. Yeah, we do cookies as well.
Absolutely, pay attention to
Biscuits.
the clock.
This was, if I can show, I'll show this quickly. Oops. We had a build night, and this is just one side of how many people actually showed up. So just in that photo alone, that's only one side of the club.
And they're actually doing something.
Yeah, they're building things. We built a transceiver.
So what is REAST? R-E-A-S-T.
All one kit? Everybody's working on the same kit, or are you guys all spreading the work out?
No, all working on the same kit. But all everyone's got their own kit. I was just seeing if this is the other side of the room. Oh, there we go. Over there.
That's awesome.
And then we did, and then we do things like we went out to visit the local television studios, and that's how many people we had turn up to the local TV studios. They're standing in front of the weather screen there at the moment. So yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. What did you say, Tio? You said something?
What is REAST? R-E-A-S-T.
Radio
mentioned it.
Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania.
Okay. Somebody in the chat mentioned it. It scrolled by, and then I saw the sign in your club picture. There it is. Bronson.
That's
Sweet.
Your club is REAST?
It is. Yep.
Is there a website for that, Hayden?
There is a website.
Share that.
Anyway, I'm tooting my own horn about our club, but we're very happy with what we've able to achieve there. And I think that the main thing though is that if we can do it, then anyone can do it with enough work, because it takes a lot of work and it needs the right people in the club to be able to achieve it.
We're not ranting anymore. We seem to have.
No, we need to get back to ranting.
So there are two different types of clubs. Like when I started Toads, as an example, we've got
good and crap
members in Toads.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Sorry.
We don't collect dues at all. My club, when I founded it in Wisconsin, we didn't collect dues, and then we started a repeater. And in order to have a repeater, we needed to have insurance. In order to have insurance, we needed to have money. So I still heavily resisted, but I got voted down. I think it's probably a better idea to pass the plate for the $200 insurance bill than it is to have dues for the club. But I have seen some ham clubs that have like $5,000 or $6,000 in the club coffers. I'm like, how do you
sit on it?
How do you get that much money in the club coffers? And then B, why do you not spend it? Like what are you even collecting for at that point?
And then you see clubs like the one that runs the Huntsville Ham Fest. I think that's sponsored by the Huntsville Club. Dayton is
Dayton.
Dara, yep.
Cara.
Dara, D-A-R-A.
Dara, yeah. And I guess Orlando is by whatever club is down there. I don't know.
This is what we're spending our money on at the moment, which is what I've been doing over the weekend. We've been refurbing and modernizing our clubhouse.
That's what you should be doing with club money right there. A multi-station setup with with all the filtration and different radios, and it's a great life for second and third hand used radios.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hank, you're right. If your club has more money than you do, there better be a nice fancy club station that you can go and get
Right.
access to.
You need to be pimping a couple of Auroras and a 8400 at least. Yeah.
And some big towers with Yagis on them.
Well, Dara's got that, don't they? At the just next to where the racecourse thing is at Hamvention, right?
Yeah. They've got it. Dara's got an awesome club shop. Oh wow, we could go on forever.
I don't have a specific beef with ARRL.
They do a lot for youth education and
They're
evangelism. I have to give them that. Steve Goodgame has been an amazing addition to that.
But this sort of leads into the Ham Radio Club discussion as well, where it's like there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying that they're not justified in saying this, but there's a lot of people that will complain about a club or complain about the way things are run without actually putting up their hand to actually do something about it themselves.
Right.
If you don't agree with the way that your club's being run, or the way that something's being run, then throw in your hat for a little bit and try and make the change, do the change, be the change. So we're not going to rant about individuals in the chat, just by the way. So please don't go putting people in the chat because that will be a very quick way that you will get banned from my channel.
Yeah, you have to be a member. We'll go to the members only meeting and then we can rant and show our true feelings. The join button right below the video here.
Right. But yeah, there are some things like Phil definitely does say like LOTW is ancient and definitely needs an overhaul.
I will rant about that. Yes, that is the most hideous, ancient POS program I have ever seen in my life, and it's still running. I'm like, you guys paid money for this, like what, 50 years ago? I suspect it's running on a PDP 1170.
Was that all of the rant? I was expecting some big elaborate thing with some story,
it's a crappy interface. It's a crappy system. It relies on snail mail for authentication, for crying out loud. It's slow.
How privileged. Some of us don't even have mail.
I mean, I do have an address. I have house privilege, but I mean, it's like, oh my God, ARL. I don't know how many members are in ARL, 150, 160,000, something like that, maybe. I don't remember. Instead of sending out magazines, now a separate one, because there's On Air and there's QST. I actually think there's a couple more that I don't even look at. Why don't we consolidate the magazines and spend some of that money and pay somebody's kid's cousin to update that program?
Program, yeah.
And the website's functional. It's not awesome, but it's functional.
Actually, here's a good rant. How good is the POTA site? Like awesome. That is a good example of something that you should be going towards.
The POTA site is laser focused on their mission. And it's easy to figure out your awards. It's easy and bless their hearts in the good way, Steve.
Right.
You can sort the list by band. You can sort within a band by frequency or the last heard or call signs or whatever. I mean, there's like 15 ways to hunt POTA on that site.
Two things that site needs, though. They need rig control, so you can click and your radio automatically changes because I'm too lazy to spin the dial. And they need GPS navigation because I'm too lazy to look up how to get to the stupid park.
There actually is rig control with some software.
No, they're not just digital
website?
That will pull the website data.
You have to pay for the printed versions. Sorry.
That's okay. No, yeah, you can get the printed versions.
Like Polo will do rig control, you're saying?
I don't know
or
about
hammers.
Polo because I've never used it, and I don't remember that I did it with hammers. But the Mac version of Smart SDR and SDR control.
Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Oh, jeez, this is an earthquake happening in there.
my laptop's sitting on my laptop.
Yeah.
They will tune the radio for you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Brad.
Tune the radio. They'll pull the POTA site. You can spot from there, or find the spots, double click it, does the thing.
Nice.
Thank you, Brad, for doing the for
Nice,
giving us a
Chris.
$2 super chat. All clubs need to focus on bringing young hams in. That is one thing that we are trying to do, and everyone should do. That is right.
So this is awesome. Chris got FRS radios for granddaughters. She has 4. Awesome. Go ride your bike as far as you can go. Well,
and then
your
talk to Paw
your
Paw.
tricycle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Someone told me a story the other day
Jason
of
was more
their
dancing.
daughter who's a little bit older than that, probably 6 or so years old, and she was learning the phonetics in the car and wants the phonetics printed out on a piece of paper in her room. So that's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Hayden, I feel the need.
The need for
The need for spastic old man dancing. Jason, that's awesome. Thank you, dude.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason, for the $10 super chat.
This one's
Oh, that was the wrong button.
Jim.
Jim.
Not me. Not me.
No, that is wrong, Liberty Cave. It is actually 560. We are now saying you're a 5x60. A 5x69.
Right.
Nice. 5 poon.
You're a 5x69. We're getting worse than Clubhouse here, just saying as well. We're going to take the mantle off of them. Brad, more cash for that song. Okay, we'll go again.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Jim throwing
That's
gang
some
signs.
super gangster shit right there. God.
That's
And
my
look-
Freebird call, son. That's what
Well,
that
we
is.
need more money.
We were using it
Jim-
before the gangsters were. I'm just saying.
Jim needs more money because he's gone to now he's back. He was 240p there for a minute. As soon as you start moving, all of a sudden your resolution just goes to hell.
This camera's having
It's
trouble
just
focusing.
Too much for the camera. Jim just overwhelming it with all that awesomeness.
David, come
David.
on, really?
David, we could fix that. Just drop another super chat and we'll stop it. We promise we'll stop it.
We will not dance on your next super chat, Dave.
Oh, I was going to say, do we rant about metric versus imperial? That could cause a war, I reckon.
Imperial would win.
Another war. We won the last one, Hayden. Come on now.
Oh, this was a comment before. How do you become a supporter on Toad's Discord?
I will
So you have to
pull a
join
link.
any one of these channels.
There's a
and,
link below.
Yeah,
Got it,
if you
okay.
join the Toads Discord and you join the channel, then we'll add you to the members only room for the channel that you support.
Yes, that is right. You just need to let us know in our respective shows. So this is Ham Radio Nonsense or Ham Church or Nuggets. Let us know in those rooms, and we'll add you to the supporters channels. 45 auto. Very, very happy. Grouchy face. That was on the thumbnail. King Grouch. Do you reckon we could make or do you reckon we could break
It's not
him? Yeah,
focusing.
well,
This
what's it?
camera. I got this camera's out of here. Hayden, you look kind of serious, or you're holding in a fart in church. I'm not sure which it is. Okay. And you
What?
snorted. That's awesome.
The latter. Thank you. The Grouch in New Hampshire, I'm assuming NH is.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Could be in North Hollywood. It could be in...
Yeah, I totally can see him in North Hollywood. Wearing a miniskirt, but never mind.
IP a lot makes a very good point here, and I need to tell this to all my folks too. There's no automated YouTube to Discord function or Patreon for that matter either. So if you join Patreon or you join YouTube as a channel member, you're going to need to drop a dime and tell us because we don't get notified. It's pretty manual.
Ooh, windy.
Someone did. Who did it better, Jim or Grumpy Cat?
Probably no
Nice.
Chris
I don't know,
Chris
they
is a
kind of
member.
look the same. Yeah.
Chris is a member. Has been a
Thank you,
member
Chris.
for 15 months. Thank you, Chris. And
Appreciate
Chris,
you too.
I hope you're in the Discord. Are you in the correct supporters channels? Because you guys, I mean, I can't join unfortunately because it's during a time when I am, working for a dime. Supporters groups, supporter calls every month on Zoom.
If boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
There is a
what you gotta
website
do.
about that too. The poop on the clock calculator. How much money do you make while pooping while working?
Patreon does, but then YouTube doesn't, so it's hard to keep track. So it's just easier to just do it one at a time as you start to join.
Yeah.
Right, we got to get back to ranting. We've been too nice for the last 10 minutes. What's been going on?
We do have a problem where we're too nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are
People
ham
who
radio
say
so
you
old
should-
and outdated?
People who
Hey?
say you should do something this way. I hate those words.
And they shit on you.
Radio. You should.
Just shit all over it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm using a DX commander. Well, you should use a resonant antenna. Or, I like
is.
DMR. You should use Fusion. It's so much better. It's 6 and 1 and a half
Oh,
does the other
oh,
on a lot of this
even-
stuff. And it's like,
Even better. Exactly
what
what
you
you
want.
said. I use a DX commander. You should use a resonant antenna. It is resonant DA.
yeah. Well, I
Digital
mean, it
radio
was-
is not FM. Yes, it is DA.
Yeah, it is. I actually told somebody, I didn't call him a dumbass. He just didn't know.
0G for the $15 Australian. Thank you very much. Great club you've got there going. Hayden, nice work. So, talking about this Gips Tech, though, Gips Tech hasn't run for... The last one was in 2019 because I was there, and they have not run one since. There's all sorts of various reasons why that I'm not privy to, I'm sure, but it was a very good event to go to, and we've been trying to do that with our club to try and fill some gaps that Gips Tech had. So, but yes, good club, and lots of great people doing good things in it.
Ooh, yes. Time and a half. Ooh, double time.
And
Two.
Donald, this is, amen, Donald. That's a rant. I'm going to take Donald's flag up on this one. We will die on this hill, Donald,
But
together.
that's watts. That's not phonetics. Whiskies is slang for watts.
Well,
Whis-
it
whis-
leads to the
whiskeys,
same thing.
tangos, one whiskeys.
Yeah.
How many whiskeys you running?
Well, you get sugar. That's mine personally.
Sugar.
Or kilowatt. It's not kilowatt. It's just kilo.
Well,
It's
It's
just
also
kilo.
not it's also not America either.
Right. It is not America.
Alpha Hotel.
Kilowatt America 5 whiskeys.
It's,
That's probably some guy's call
It's the
sign.
NATO standard phonetic alphabet. It's used in aviation. It's used in public safety. It's used in ham radio, for crying out loud. And you're
Yes,
expecting
I
to
believe
hear
I'm
it.
presenting there.
You're expecting to hear those words. So when someone uses weird stuff for a call sign, like Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Orange County, whatever, I'm not. What the hell did he just say? I have no idea.
Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Golf Hotel India Juliet Kilo Lima Mike November Oscar Papa Quebec Romeo Sierra Tango Uniform Victor. Oh no, I've messed up. Whiskey. X-ray Yankee Zulu.
It is whiskey.
I get 'em
You're
all?
allowed to say whiskey there.
Did I get them all?
You got them all. I was
Did I?
judging the whole way, buddy. I was on it. I was
I might
waiting.
have missed Lima. I didn't say Lima. I've
You
missed
did.
Lima. That's
I thought you
I-
said
Did I?
Lima.
I say
Oh, okay.
I say my call sign in perfect phonetics every time. This is Night Mnemonic 9 Gnome here.
Yeah.
Now we got to try and do it the wrong way. America, Boston, China,
Charlotte, America, Boston, Charlotte,
Dingus. We should
Dingus,
use Dingus on the air.
Evansville, Flagstaff. Oh my God, this is hard. I don't know.
You're gonna have to argue with NATO on that one.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to tell them to.
it's NATO
that.
standard. It's been that way for, oh my God, 50 years probably or more.
Disco.
Yes,
physics.
yeah. Some idiot's gonna change it to America officially. I'm sure. Shots fired. Shots fired. He's not
That
my
was
president. I don't
perilously
care.
close to politics, Hayden.
It was. My gripe, IPA lot, my gripe is the Sherwood list. Where's the X6100 and X6200? You know that Chinese radios are not allowed on the Sherwood list, surely.
No, the G90's on there, and it's actually got a
Is it?
pretty damn good score. Yeah, it's like
right.
shockingly good for a $400 radio. It's like the number 5 radio on the list or something stupid like that. It's higher than you think it is.
But the Sherwood list only takes into account receiver specifications. So,
One measurement, yes.
Never mind ease of use or anything like that. You could have the worst radio that you can't even figure out how to turn the damn thing on, and it could have the best receiver in the world. But that's only one thing.
Well, even Rob Sherwood admits that, like, please don't use this as a judgment of radio. It's only ranking radios by their ability to receive a signal. DJ Hayden
Dave.
mixing the super beats.
I was
I know.
trying to get my car started there. So.
Very. Thank you for the $2. This is cooked. This is so far.
I can't believe Hamstick is saying this kind of trash in public. I mean, it's NATO phonetics. They can use it, or they can invent their own, and we'll all ignore it.
Sounds like imperial and metric. Anyway, moving on.
Yep. We ignored it.
Yep. We talked about this one last week, Bradley, the 7300 not being updated in a decade. If you want to watch, and we also talked about the FTX1 as well. If you want to watch that, you can go back to last week's stream. And we spent a long time on that, didn't we? But, I mean, we could always rant about it again.
Needs to be retired. That radio is so tired, it's retired.
We can always talk about it again, of course. VK3 MAW, just slide down to 27355 for the more colourful phonetic alphabet.
Right. Or
probably like that on
7200. You can
7200.
at least learn what F is on there.
I'm not even going to touch this because I've got some comments that probably I shouldn't share here.
It's politics, Hayden. That's politics.
You know, we all
It's
used
getting-
to agree on what units there were, and then you guys
It's getting
changed.
more than politics. Rant. People teasing an all-star product and never bringing it out. I don't know what this is in
I have
reference
no
to. Do
idea
you know?
what they're talking about.
Not a
No.
clue.
Can
No.
you take that off the screen? That's completely
Yeah.
irrelevant. We're not going
Yeah.
to talk about that next week on stream at all.
No.
Not
No.
teasing out what's going to happen next week on stream. Not going to tease out the availability of something new. We're not going to talk about how it's the only device that does what this device does unless you make it yourself. And it's a pain in the... I'm running out of oxygen. It's a pain in the butt to make it yourself, so we made it for you.
Running out of
No.
soap out of the box.
I'm running out of everything. I hate that when I get so angry that my eyes turn red and my lungs empty out.
Don't make you angry. We wouldn't like you.
You
when
wouldn't
you're angry.
like me when I'm angry, no.
Let's talk about expensive radios that come out half-cooked.
We just did. We talked about the FTX 1F. I don't know.
I
You
actually
did.
put a comment in there. It scrolled by. I was going to highlight my own comment because I can do that now.
That was a real one.
Uncomplete firmware, which is what he's talking
Oh,
about.
that one. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 3 major radio, well, 2 that I know of, half-baked firmware on day one, or no CPS software on day one. On a 2-meter radio, a 2-meter 440 radio that you're going to use with multiple repeaters, especially if you travel, and you had to either buy a third-party piece of software, third-party piece of software, or hand program to some bitch. And it's like, really? On day one, no CPS available. Couldn't
And they
believe it.
messed up and messed up something that's 60 odd years old technology.
And I wasn't going to say that one, but yes, that too, DTMF. So it's like, you guys never learned to code this? Like, call your grandpa, because he was coding this back in the day.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the chat, and I think Tio was too. Unprofessional foul-mouthed operators on amateur private repeaters. There's no such thing as a private repeater. It's a load of rubbish.
Is it in Australia? Because
Yes.
Dave?
I think
Yep.
we can do it here, but I'm a little fuzzy on that one.
No. I
'Cause
don't.
I'm too
I've seen
cheap
people
to pay.
talk about it, but
You can't
Talk is free.
encrypt. You can't encrypt, and here you also need to publish the access code information for your repeaters. So your CT, CSS tones, etc., like that, because otherwise, then it would constitute you having a private repeater with no, means of other people being able to access it.
How do you even enforce that, though?
Well, that was.
I mean,
the
you can
next
go knock on
question.
their door, but that's
How does
thought
the
out.
FCC enforce spurious emissions on handheld radios?
Because you are the licensee who maintains that radio is clean and able to be operated.
Right.
That's a rant that I did on my channel.
Right.
The FTX 1F can't be released because we don't have FCC certification for it. Bullshit. That's not a thing. And you did. You had FCC Part 15 for scanning receiver.
Yeah, Jimmy's got it. They don't.
Well, they can't enforce 7200, which is one of the most flagrant. I mean, it's worse than the Mos Eisley spaceport.
Well, they've got that repeater in Los Angeles that's just infamous for the information that gets discussed on that repeater, and they don't do anything about it. They literally could just go and turn it off.
Yeah.
That's all they would have to do. 7200's a bit harder because you can't go around and switching off everyone's operators, operators running on 7200. But the repeater, you just go and tell the repeater owner, you need to go turn it off. They don't even do that. You know why? Because you've got a little amendment, I think, in your little constitution thing, which says that they probably can't turn it off.
Well,
That's just my theory.
it is a fine line.
It is a fine line. I just like that. Jim's like, it's a fine line.
He can multitask.
I'm sorry. I felt the beat. I felt the beat. I had to move.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with Doc on this. I don't mind them announcing a new product. I mean, I may want to buy it, and not be able to. That might be something that's problematic. But please innovate. Kenwood
Please
finally added
complete.
breadcrumbs.
That's the one,
to their
Frank.
radio.
Please complete your product. I don't have any problem with them putting it under glass and letting everybody drool over the plastic. But yeah, when you're going to release it, make sure it's actually done and your DTMF tones work and their CPS software for something that begs for CPS software. I might be carrying a little bit of a grudge on that.
Yeah, but it's fixed now, though, right?
Yeah. At
Yeah.
this time.
At this time, you'll go to get in the car one day and it's reverted back to its previous
I'm
state.
sure there's a firmware update, lying in wait at some point that.
That's going to bust it. It's going to brick it.
Now, see, the Vero radio that I like, I reach over my shoulder and grab it, but I'm not in my ham shack. They released a radio that they didn't brag about features it didn't have, and then they've been adding more. Like, it never said in the manual, this radio has smart beaconing, and guess what? It does now, because they listen and they added this new feature called smart beaconing. Yeah, wow, so much better.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, my cell phone does more and costs less. Get out of here.
Yep. We didn't even rant about your shirt either, Jim, whether the old hobby versus service rant going on, because
why not
we've
both?
spoken. Well, this is the thing. We've spoken privately about this. We've spoken privately about a lot of things that probably shouldn't have make the light of day. But
Right. I mean,
That would be my buddy Mike over at Flex Radio.
yep. Total cool
Love you, Mike.
gentleman, knows his product inside and out and doesn't make up things on the fly because he doesn't know an answer. And if you do ask him something that he doesn't know, which is unlikely, he'll find out.
He admits,
I'm
and he helps you. Wow.
I'm hoping to get Mike on the channel to discuss the Aurora and things. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I think he's been out at is it CPAC over in California. So there's been a lot on. Jonathan W5GI, thank you for the $20. FTX works with ATAs, but not the Optima. Whoops.
Yeah, John's been getting his Optima modified illegally to work in his car.
With use of a 70-cent Ethernet cable.
That's right. Because Jesus said, you can't do that. And John said, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Sorry, CPAC in Oregon. I'm just upset about 200,000 people.
You want to hear the creepiest thing ever? Take that sound and slow it down. It is so scary.
Is it?
The modem ringtone sound. There's a YouTube video. Let me see if I can find it.
No,
They
I
slowed
can.
it
I can.
down. It's
I can do it
terrible.
here. I can do it here. Let me.
It's
Let me do that.
It's like the creepiest horror movie sound you've ever heard in your life.
While you
Not
guys
the
talk amongst
DTMF
yourselves.
tones. It's the modem handshake tones are just wow.
Oh, right.
Somebody's gonna murder your mother is what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm not getting the FTX 1F. I think I'm gonna be. I think like no radio's newer than 1985 or something like that is gonna be my new thing.
No newer radio than
Unless it's
1985.
There's another major manufacturer that we were just talking about that I would buy if I get the urge to spend more money and buy another high dollar HF radio.
Yeah, Flex or Kenwood, both of those are
Yep.
really good.
Do you
companies.
really have enough
Sorry?
money?
Not
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
these super chats we got today. Yeah, we're gonna go out
Okay,
there. We're gonna
I
get
got one
radios,
Flex. That's about all the paper I could fold.
right?
What Flex do you have?
The 6600.
Oh, okay. Do you have the front head thing?
That's
That
the
you
M.
can get?
Yeah, no, I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Because I've played with one. One of my viewers on the channel, on my channel, sent me the M unit like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
whenever I got it. He said, you can borrow it as long as you want. I hardly ever use it. And I played with it, and I think I did a video on it. I know I did. And it's cool, but for me, it's like, it's not $1,600 worth of cool. You know, it's if I sat in the living room regularly and wanted to play FT8, I can use an iPad and the Smart SDR software for the iPad, which is $150 and way cheaper than that thing.
You
But
wanna
it
know
is
the
badass. It is absolutely cool. But I think it's got a very narrow use case. At least for me, it's just not.
the coolest thing that I think for the sitting in the living room and playing FT8 is a program called FT8CM that you sideload onto an Android. It actually has a really slick looking interface where you can actually it draws the line and it's got these little animated marching ants things like between you and the contact you're trying to make, and you can work all grids while sitting there watching Jeopardy. But my ham shack is like right there. My
Right.
living room is right here. Like I
Right.
can touch it. Rob is correct. I've been saying this forever.
Oh, did I lose? No, my mic's back. Phew. Phew.
We lost Jim though.
No, Jim's Jim's frozen.
He's
Can you
frozen
hear-
in shock at a brand
It's
new radio.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me? It's probably getting.
Oh dear.
Marching ants is what it's called when you see the line move around the outline of something.
Here we go. Can you hear this now?
2000s term.
Oh no, that won't work. Okay, it's being a bit sad. No, I can't get the slowed down dial up sound. Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Or is it even slower than that?
I think it's even slower. I'm
I was
grabbing
going to
the
say
video
that still
now.
sounds like a modem.
It
We
does.
just got to be careful of copyright strikes. That's all.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the one. Let me drop it in the chat.
So people
I'll
can
drop it
watch
in
on their
the,
own time.
I'll drop it in the back chat, Hayden, for you.
Ah, yes. Okay. That actually sounds a little bit like FT8.
Well, because it is a little bit like FT8.
Have we got Jim back, or is Jim? Jim, you still with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
I'm showing 960 down and 36 up. So
I
and
actually
I'm on,
have better internet than you. Whoa.
and I'm on a Mac. I'm not on the Windows machine. So that kind of
All right.
implies that it's a network problem.
Is
network
there
gear.
any more rants that we need to get to before the end of today? There's got to be more.
It's my cellular internet, Jim.
People who pimp their cellular internet in front of cable internet people?
My cheap little $50 router.
That's awesome.
I'm shocked. Every time I see it above like 500, I'm like, there's no
So
way.
are
that
you? That's on
dial up
5G,
is-
like real 5G. That must be ultra wideband or something.
And I'm in a city campground in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Oh, sorry, Hayden.
I am
So
inside though, and I don't have very good reception.
Yeah,
That is
114 up on a cell
That's
modem.
5G
Yeah.
too.
That's impressive. I mean, I pay Spectrum Internet, which is the only choice
Right.
I have out here, and they pimp 1 gig down and 40 meg up, which is fine when it doesn't rain and make weird things
Oh.
happen.
Nice. What's your
Well,
cell
that's-
provider? Aren't you on T-Mobile, Jim?
No, I'm on Verizon, but I'm in a brick house with a metal roof, so it's kind
Jim,
of
you are a brick house.
I am a brick
Ah,
house.
this is
Believe
That
me,
was-
YouTube's
T-Mobile,
copyright thing
Chris.
didn't think
Yeah.
that was really the Commodores.
no.
We're
YouTube's
safe.
just going. You're good. You're good. Don't worry
Yeah,
about that
fine.
whatsoever.
Fine.
Liberty
I'm
Cave
with
is
LC
right.
on that one. Smack that like it didn't make you the sandwich you told it to make.
Right.
He needs some
Some
milk.
milk.
Oh well, Jim's already got a video on this.
I did a whole show on it almost.
Wow.
You got
You
got
did
a
like 4
massive
shows on it.
you got a massive response to that first one, didn't you?
I
You
did.
doubled down. You
I
doubled
did.
down on that.
The second one did not do as well because, but I wanted to love the radio, and I did kind of really like the radio, but really, I got to spend another almost $200 to mount the son of a bitchin' radio? Really?
My Retina MA1 came with a mount and does all the things that yours does and has that same sexy display.
And then all my friends kept pointing out that their cheap Chinese radio came with
Jim.
all the parts.
Don't use the F word in reference to me.
Well, you don't know
He's-
Right.
Which F?
which F.
Here we
I
go. Rant on internet speeds. So, I saw Norm, who's in New Zealand, has 914 down by 472 up.
Good
This is
God.
the list of ranked January 2025 by average megabits per second. So Singapore is at the top. United States is number 7. Let's just keep going down. Oh, New Zealand, number 30. Keep on going. There's the UK, number 42. Still going.
Are you under Bulgaria?
Oh, we're number 81.
What is
Under
this list? I missed it.
Bulgaria.
World's slowest internet? What is this?
Average by connection speed.
Now, see,
Wow.
I've read that the United States lags other countries. Maybe it's in the price per gigabit.
Well,
or
it does.
something.
It does lag it, but only by about like 6 countries.
But
The
now
problem-
that's average. And see, in the United States, a lot of it depends on where you actually live. Still,
Well, that's the thing. I think what drags us down is the fact that we have quite a lot of country
Rural.
that has to be wirelessly connected.
yeah.
So our fixed internet infrastructure is crap, basically. Some people have it over fiber. Some people have it over copper. Some people have it over wireless. Some people have Starlink. Some people have mobile.
Coppa.
But copper.
Now, see here, a coppa is another word for police officer.
That
Yeah, we
person that
call them
pulls you over.
We call them cops as well. Bad
So,
boys.
I
What you
can't-
gonna do?
I can't pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but the Renovus MA1. I actually wound up doing a 2-meter POTA, FM POTA on it. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
And I
Mm.
I almost have bought an MA1,
Mm-hmm.
but I just decided to use my old Kenwood 710 for now and not spending more
Which
money on radios.
Sadly, is actually technically better than the MA1.
And sadly,
That's
technically
it's
better
older.
than the ICOM 2730
What is?
The
My-
Kenwood.
710.
Oh,
The only thing
Yeah.
that's wrong with this 710 is it's not the
This thing?
GPS model. Yeah.
yeah. Mine's the non-GPS model. You got to plug the GPS in the side.
Yep. Same one I got. Do you have a
But if you
GPS for it? Did you get a GPS for yours? You got that at Dayton when you were here, right?
Yeah, but I didn't get a GPS because I used to have one of these radios years ago, and I had a GPS that I'd plug in. I've made a cable that plugs in the side.
I need to hunt up a GPS unit for mine. That would make it perfect.
Yeah, because the problem is that. And have you seen the newest radio? What do they call that? The 750.
The 750A, yeah, which will probably require me to sell a kidney.
They
Which we
finally
saw
added
doesn't.
breadcrumbs to it.
Well, it didn't have it had Bluetooth, but didn't have Wi-Fi, and it had something else. There was something else missing in it, or something I can't remember.
Data?
But it does have
Surely
GPS
it does
built into it.
data.
I'm really hoping that it has GPS in the head, and not GPS in the body of the radio.
POD.
Right.
Okay, I can see that.
That is my other
Imagine that.
whinge about the 710 is that the microphone has to plug into the body. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
as old as the 710 is, that was kind of what everybody did back then. And
But the 750 is going to have that too.
is it? I think you're right, because I think we saw that somewhere. Somebody was showing pictures, and it looked like it plugged in the body.
I think the rep confirmed that it is full duplex, so at least that's one
Yeah,
thing.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, guys, for the rants. This was a great stream, full of good laughs, full of interesting comments. Looking at you, John, I think, in the chat. So next week, we will not be talking about All-Star-Link, and we will not be talking about a new product.
digital interface,
And we will not be talking about how we're going to make your life easier.
Oops, that's
However, next week we
step at a
will
time.
be talking about